Doctor did justice to everything. So can we stand up and close so that we will actually be going? You are tired, right? So we should actually go. She did what we call end of discussion. All right. Please can we celebrate her again and other speakers? You see, truth is that some of the things you get today are free, but they are not free. They are free in the sense that you walked in here and you accessed these informations and you didn't have to pay anything more than probably your transport. They are not free in the sense that some people that made this happen may not have paid, but they may have paid through a relationship. They may have paid forward and all that. What I want you to do, the greatest favor you can do for the organizers of this event is to take action as you leave this place. Make up your mind that you will do something, and a few years from now, you look back at this event and you can say, I took this action after this event, and this is where I am. So I've been asked to speak on the topic, and Mama Etuk in Obong, when I saw you there, I said, oh, I hope this woman is not coming for this meeting. And the reason was that her name and her brand was on my slide. And I said, I'm not going to change it. I'm still going to use it. And you stay put and see what I wanted to say. These are people that have actually done something in this city that you can never, write off. They have dropped something. Every time I turn to look at what she has done in a niche that is not conventional. There are terrains like selling paper that everybody can go into and still get something. But when you talk about selling books, and not just books, original copy. I don't mean those things they sell 200 naira by the roadside, original copy. It takes somebody who has dog. So please, let's celebrate our bulldoze mama for the work she had done. I've not yet started tapping on her, but this year, ... You know when you don't complete a statement. All right, so I've been asked to, please just go. I've been asked to speak on turning your hobby into a business. And I'll start this way. A few years ago in the University of Port Harcourt, when we were struggling to climb bike, 3 people, 4 people, to go for morning 7 o'clock class, there was this young guy that will order a taxi, and the taxi will carry him gingerly on his own, and he sits at the back and get to the class. And somebody told me one day that guy where they pose, he no get papa, he no get mama. They live for this school like senator son. And I told myself, there is something he knows, that I will find out what he knows. So every day I see him pass, by the time we reach class, he's one of the people that sits in the front. And when you join the bike or struggle to enter the bus, you get to reach when they are almost, you are hanging on the window just to see how you can get some information. So one of those days, immediately the class finished, I approached him. I walked up to him. And I said, please, there are some things I would like to learn from you, things I would like to ask you. And he said, we can't talk here. And he gave me an appointment and an eatery. And when he wanted to leave, he said, carry money. When you are coming, carry money. So he didn't really click. And I went there that day, and he sat by, close to the, all these eateries with open glasses. So you can sit close to the window and you see people passing and all that. So when we met, I greeted him, we sat down each other, and I said, sorry to say this, I'm told your dad and your mom is late, and you live like a senator's son in this school, University of Port Harcourt, like Uniport. If somebody is living well in Port Harcourt, So he said, so what do you want to know? I said, how are you able to do that? And while we were just sitting there, somebody passed and greeted him. He greeted the person entered in. He said, what do you want to take? He said, nothing more, just meat pie and Coke. He said, you can take, and asked me to pay. I paid. And he now said, he did not ask me a question. While the person thanked him and went his way, he now asked me, so you want to know how to live like a senator's son in this school? And the question he asked me was, how many students are in the University of Port Harcourt, both the ones school has admitted and the ones that have admitted themselves? Sure, you know that in school, there is those that school admits and there is those that admit themselves. They are the ones that even pay better accommodations off camp, pass you. So, I have bought something for the first person. I have bought something for him. And as a matter of fact, sincerely, another person passed. And he asked the person to come in. I don't know if he arranged it, but he greeted another person. And I bought something for the person. As we were talking, I was calculating the money that was in my pocket and what I will totally spend. I didn't find it funny. When he now asked a question I don't have an answer to. So now, if I don't have the answer, does it mean that my money is gone? So I told him I don't know. I didn't even process it. And he said, you are not interested in money. If you don't know the number of students that are in University of Port Harcourt, you are not interested in money. He now said there are 40,000 students in University of Port Harcourt, both the ones school has admitted and the ones that have admitted themselves. He said your job is to make sure that a fraction percent pay you 1,000 naira. And he said, the fraction I'm talking about is not 10%. That would be too much. He said, I'm not even talking about 1%. 1% of 40,000 is what? 400. So he said, I'm not even saying you should look for 400 people. He said, find something that 40 people can pay you 1,000 naira for. And I knew that 1,000 naira by 40 is how much? I did engineering. So that time, the highest I've ever collected from the house as pocket money was 7,500. So somebody is telling me that on my own, without calling the house, I can stay in Uniport and have 40 kulele. I started smiling without seeing the money. I don't know if you understand. Like, I already imagined the things I could do with that kind of money in school without even seeing the money. Then it was as if somebody said, hey, wake up. I now said to myself, what will I be doing that somebody will count 1,000 naira and give to me? And then, as if he was thinking the thoughts that were in my mind, he said, I know what you're thinking. What will you do? And he now asked me, what have you been doing for people for free? And they loved it and came back again and again. I said, I do research. When people have assignments, I started bragging. I do for final year. And he said, the next time the people you have done it for before call you again, tell them it's 1,000. Tell them it's what? My elder brother was in the same school, studying electronics. I was in mechanical engineering. He was a class ahead of me. But I used to do his assignments. I used to do the research works and give him and all those. They are contemporaries. I do up to final year. I don't know how it was him that called me on that table. So immediately he started doing mafre. He didn't allow him finish. I said what? So you were there. Now the problem is that I was afraid. Because immediately I said the 1,000, I was afraid because if my brother gets angry with you, he can stay in the same place with you for like a month and you would not talk. He will not even answer you. He will just do his thing. So if I was thinking, I would have not have told him 1,000. But because of the hotness of the 40,000 that was in my mind, I just said, maybe this is the first money. So I now said 1,000. And shockingly, my elder brother, of all people, said, I will give you. It turned my life around till date. So what I will be sharing with you today is as a result of things that if you walk out of this place and dare to do them, you will see the result. So the young man smiled and told me, he has paid for the things we have bought here. So you are no more looking for 40,000, you are looking for 39,000. That month, I made 18,000 naira. How much did I say they used to give me from house? So I decided to pay Eket a visit on my own. I paid my way down to the house, talked with them, and then paid my way back to the school without asking them for money or anything, just to tell them that, look, something is changing. All right? So one of my greatest desire coming here is that somebody will live here and have an understanding about this thing and run with it. The last part of her teaching was what? He said money generation. He said great marriages, are helped by God and supported by what? By money. By money. One of my mentors, I did my IT with in this town, is married to a white woman. I said, sir, this marriage, the way you people are doing it, they say poverty and marriage don't go together. Then I wasn't even prepared for marriage then. 2003 or thereabout, I was doing IT with Engineer Oko, and he said that thing, and it struck me. So I knew that this money thing must be taken serious. So today, I want to come from the perspective of something that you are familiar with. And I've been asked to speak on turning your hobby. Please, if it's not working, you could just give me the next slide. All right? So, a quick one, I want this to stick. Hobby is what? An activity done regularly in one's leisure. Now, the key word is for what? Why are you doing it? For what? For pleasure, right? For pleasure, right? So when we talk about a hobby, we are talking about something you do in your own spare time, whatever you call spare time. You do it in your own spare time for what? For pleasure. Take note of that word, for pleasure. That key word, for pleasure, for pleasure, for pleasure. All right? Now, I will show you a few people who have been able to turn something that was like a hobby or a hobby into a business. And most of the people I'll show you are people that are based here, so that for reference purpose. So next slide. Now, this young man called Editi Efyong were mates staying around this vicinity, and you see the computer. While we were trying to do the other things that we were doing, he was so passionate. Time will pass, and you will not know, he will stay on the system as at then, and he will stay on it. It was a hobby. But today, a company, a full-blown company based in Lekki, has been given birth to called Anacle, that does, they do amazing things. The last time I was in Lagos and I entered the office and I was like, Editi, you are tampering with my mind. Like, I'm not sure I'll be able to sleep well this night. It started as a what? A hobby. And it's now a full what? Blown what? Business, doing transactions both with global brands and companies around the world. So, why am I showing you that? I'm showing you that to tell you that it is possible to start as a hobby and build what? A business around it. The next person is inside this hall, and I didn't know she was coming for this meeting. I never knew. This is Book. When you see her, you see Book. And all that. The first time I got in contact with her, my sister walked in their place, and she just told me to come to the office that day. She kept pushing. He said I should come, and when I landed, I saw the kind of books she was selling, the quality, everything, and I'm like, wow. And then I got to realize that this is somebody that has been in books as a hobby and then graduated to building an uncopyable business. There are businesses you can copy easily. This one is an uncopyable. You cannot just wake up and copy it. So if you can start from loving reading to building a business around reading. And in our last start conference, she said that authors will call and say, please, I'm sending you a copy of my book. Like, there was somebody somewhere in US is praying, please let this woman just read my book. Because if she gives the review, my book don't blow. Should be blow, blow and all. So now, how did she move from just having the joy of reading in spare time to adding it to other times and all that, to building a brand successfully over the years? Now, if that was possible and coincidentally she's in the room, it would tell you and I that this thing is what? Is what? All right, the next person I want to show you on the screen, King David. I remember the first day King David started playing with camera, like literally. I remember the first day he started playing with camera, and then he will use me as his experiment. He will say, photography is about lighting. That's what you sit here. He will use an enamel pail, use this one, construct, and then say, stay like this. He said, I'm trying to control the light. I'm trying to control the light. That was then. But right now, if you want rapid photos to cover your event, you have to have a very deep pocket. Like your pocket has to be very, very deep. And all that. Your pocket has to be very, very deep. Now, if he could start that thing playfully, and today a brand that does transactions and go global is born, then that thing that you call your hobby that you do in your leisure can also actually become something that can build a business. All right? Are we together? And then, at least, I'm standing here before you because what I am doing today, I have been doing this for a whole longer than most of you would ever know me. And the first 5 years of doing this, I was doing it in closed doors. I was hiding. I was just doing it with some young people and then follow them up and then get the results. I just enjoyed the fact that I was doing this. And when I hear the testimonies of changed lives, I just go to look for another person and another person and another. So I enjoyed doing this. But I never really thought that one day I'll build a brand around it. But today, Smile Home is a brand that does transactions with organizations. I mean, when Delta Africa Foundation called me and said they wanted to do a training in Akwa Ibom State, Eket and all that, and they asked if I could fly in to come have a talk with them. I went to the place in Lagos and I looked at the story building. That's a skyscraper. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And I entered the place and I asked myself, is it this same thing that I have been doing play that has taken me here? My first flight ticket, I was already booking flights for people. They will pay me to book flights. But I told myself, I will never pay a flight ticket for myself. My gifts, my passion will pay a flight ticket. The first flight ticket I ever entered was paid because somebody wanted me to come speak somewhere. The first time I ever left the shores of Nigeria, the second time was because this thing actually moved me out of the country. So listen, that thing that you look at and sometimes you look down on can just be the thing that will wipe the shame of your family, the thing that will wipe the tears of your family. You know that joy of your mother calling you and saying, "Ngeka supermarket, ngeke deme mboma." One small boy at and paid. Do you understand? If you don't understand our dialect, just. So my mom was so like, and the sweetest part was that she asked the person for his name to at least tell me, and the person said no, it's not necessary. That he's very happy that he could buy my mother, he could pay something for my mother, and I felt like a man of God. Do you understand that kind of thing? Like, all right. So the point I am taking you to, I'm warming you up to, is to see that yes, it's a hobby. You do it with your leisure, but I can tell you that you could also take it to the next level. And I will actually guide you into taking it to the next level. So the next thing I want to tell you here is that, all right, so still taking it to the next level. Recently, one of my mentors before he passed on said, "Unyime, I want to see your videos on YouTube. If not, I will deal with you." And this year, something happened. I was listening to him, Obon King, and it was as if he was pointing hand at me and saying, "Where's my videos? Where's my videos?" And I decided to take it to the next level. And I got a call from somebody and said, "What will it take for us to have you? I've not yet started the YouTube. I'm just warming up. So you could also go, just type in Udotai on the YouTube. Just go watch. I'm warming up." All right? So I'm doing all this to let you know that this thing in your hands that doesn't look like it can become it. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? So let's look at how we can turn that hobby into a business. But the first question I want to ask you is, what's your hobby? What's your hobby? So we have role 1, role 2, role 3, and role 4. What's your hobby? That thing that you do, time passes and you don't even notice, and you just do it for pleasure. Remember we said we do hobbies for pleasure. We don't know. So next slide, just rush. All right, so there are people that dance, there are people that sing, there are people that write. Like, it's with ease for them, and people that cook. Pastor Benga keeps telling me that I like using food as my example. I told him, well, I love good food. If you invite me for good food, I will not reject. So if I say there are people that are good in cooking, you need to go to YouTube and see that somebody actually teaches how to cook afang, and the person doesn't even know how to cook it like your sister, and yet he's on YouTube and is making so much money. I'm not saying you should go and chance your sister today, right? Okay. So basically, I'm steering you to see what's your hobby. What's that thing that you do with ease, with passion. Now, from the description, the definition I gave about hobby, let's flip it a little with business. I don't want to go through all the definitions of business, but I want you to see the difference between a business and a hobby. So we said hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure for what? Pleasure. Now, a business is what? Look at the yellow points. What? Productive activity done regularly for what? In customers' time. The other one, you do it in your own time. This one, you do it in what? In customers' time. For what? Not for your pleasure. For the customer's satisfaction. But there's also something in for you. And what's that? The profit. Do you understand? But which one goes first? The customer's satisfaction. So, a hobby makes you feel good. But a business makes somebody else feels good and also makes your pocket does what? Feel good. So for those that are talking about the marriage thing now, you can now understand when I just drive down, took my wife to one place like that Oga took me to once. And she said, all these places. I said, enter first now. Eat first. And as she was, please, you people should not allow her see this video, right? Okay, as she was taking the thing, she was like, the food is nice. It's nice. I say, I will tell you the budget after. It's nice. So how often will we come here? I say, finish this one first. All right. So it's for who? The customer's satisfaction. Now, when the customer is satisfied, when the client is satisfied, what happens? Something comes to you. All right. So it's not when it is just your pleasure. It's a hobby. But when it transcends from you to another person, is what? A business. And when it transcends from you to another person and you are not making money, you are doing charity work. But when you make profit, you are in what? Business. Okay. Now, how do I begin my business journey with my hobby? You have to first of all have what? The business mindset. And I think the second speaker really touched a whole lot about some of the mindset. But here's what I want you to know. You have to be serious. Business is serious. Business is serious. You have to be serious. You have to make up your mind. I want to turn this thing from what people just say, he's good, oh. He's good is Ita 5. Let me explain. When people say you are good, they just say you are good. Maybe you sing, you do. They will just, when they want to get you to do something for them, they just say, those people, they are selling pear. They keep this one to 200. They keep them. When you are just doing something for pleasure, they will come and box everything together and say, I will give you Ita 5. They box everything together and say, but you know what I'm saying? But when it is a business, the way you even keep it, they will be even afraid to box it together. Do you understand me? So you need the mindset of a business owner to actually turn that hobby to a business. There's a young man in this town that dances. He told me one time like that, I want to go to Lagos. He said, if I go to Lagos, I say, young man, sit down here. Let's build this thing from here. And one of those days, he did an event, a ticketed dance event, and they had all this table for 4. After the meeting, he almost carried me and hit on the ground. He said, Papa, we did it. I did table for 4. I did in naked. They paid, and all that. So there is a process to it. And one thing is that you must make up your mind. This thing will work in my hands. I showed you a few people who it's already working in their hands. The reason I showed you a few people that it's already working in their hands, so that you wake up and say, those people they showed me, they live and some of them are from here, they are staying here, and if it can work in their hands, it will work in my hands. Once you make up your mind, there is something about when a person makes up his mind, help comes, teachers come, support comes, things come. So it doesn't mean you won't fail. You fail and you get up. You fail and you get up because you are what? You've made up your mind. Listen, the day I made up my mind that this thing will pay, this thing will pay, this thing will pay, it changed everything. My father was very angry that he sent his son to go study engineering, mechanical engineering. After that, I came and was talking business and all that. He didn't find it funny. And he has not really agreed with it until one day I was asked to come speak in Aso Rock. Goodluck Jonathan was president. They talked about entrepreneurship and, So I went to him that morning and tapped him and said, Daddy, I'll be going to Abuja today. And I'm going to Aso Rock. I'll be speaking in Aso Rock. The man woke up with one eye from sleep and said, Asonse. And then he now said, I'm going to join politics. Because for him, the only people that go to Aso Rock is what? Politicians. Look, once you turn this thing to a business, you can enter anywhere. That's the point I want you to know. So, and the same man that didn't really approve, Mrs. MM, if I see this video where he's close, I will sue you. The same man that did not approve that I should do this, called his friends and said, are you mean NTA? Are you mean? So failure is an orphan, success has what? Many parents. So at the end of the day, I made up my mind. That's the point I want to drive. I made up my mind that this thing will work in my hands. Sometimes I get asked by organizations to come do training and I will pinch myself. In fact, my wife, one of those times, Society for Family Health wanted me to do training. Then we were not married. We were about, so she kept telling me, this thing you are doing, I've not seen the money, So that time they sent me a contract offer. The offer was juicy. And then they now said I should carry a PA. I checked the money that the PA was to be paid, and it was in 6 digits. I said, okay. I told her, look, I will carry the projector. I mean, they carry them before, right? I will still carry the projector and the materials. All you need to do is to answer this PA's name and collect this money. So she now signed the things and we went for the training. Hotel accommodation, transport, this. They were separating the thing, and as they are separating it for 5 days, the money is getting larger. So the first day, I just stood, I shared a few things, people were laughing, feeling good, and 30 minutes, 40 minutes were done, and we'll look forward to the next class. She now said, please, I have a question. After this, we'll talk. And said, I don't understand. That thing you just did now, the money you signed for, that 40 minutes thing you just did now is what they are paying you that money for. It was over $500,000. And he now said, please, can you do more? Can you? So I'm still doing more today. All right? So you can actually turn that thing to a business. Now, having talked about the mindset, this is what business is about. Your hobby must what? Solve a real life problem. A real life problem. I asked, what is your hobby? Don't tell me my hobby is snoring. I know how to snore. If I snore like this, I snore and change gear. Can it solve a real life problem? He said, at least if I snore now, if I snore, my brother wakes up and read. No, that's not, you are not timer. Right? So your hobby must do what? Must solve a real life problem. Real life problem. Real life problem. So, team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4. You mention, you agree, no, in the next 2 minutes, what hobby you guys are going to represent, what hobby, and what hobby. Then you also agree, you also decide what real life problem somebody is feeling like disappear. You are already in a seat. So what hobby? Agree now. Just do caucus meeting. Now. I came for a practical session. Just agree between you people. What hobby one of you should represent? Say this is my hobby, and you people agree on the person's hobby. Agree. All the class, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. So what hobby? So decide a hobby. Number 1 and number 2. Number 2. Decide a real life problem that hobby will solve. And then number 3, you will send your senator for the masses. You send your representative that will speak on your behalf. Your time has started. It's a group thing so that you learn. Do it now. You can scatter the table and chairs and return it. Don't worry. After me, it will close. Agree now. Agree. Five seconds more. 5 seconds more. 3 seconds more. 2 seconds more. Time up. Okay. Group 1, you bring your representative to tell us what hobby you people are voting for and what real life problem it will solve. It's working. Problem that hobby can solve, right?
My name is Tansi Amefle, and I am the senator for Group 1.
Okay. Can you people clap for senator for Group 1?
So, can I speak in pidgin, sir, please?
Flow.
Okay. My hobby na to talk, and I be comedian. So, wetin my hobby they do be say, in they reduce anxiety for people. Because if I stand for this stage like this, they make una laugh. I have done a great service to all of you. And there are people, my brother, when they call Godons, and the rest go die because I'm from Warri. So when they come to stage, they talk, they yarn, they make people laugh. So that's my hobby, and I'm representing my group. Thank you very much.
All right, quickly, next one.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, my name is Okafo Choma, and I'm representing Group 2. Okay, my hobby it's about beauty, hairdressing, makeup, nails, and all that. So the real life problem it could actually solve.
All that is a hobby too.
Like I love to do all of them: hairdressing, makeup.
No, you added all that, so I'm trying to know if all that is a hobby too.
No.
Okay.
All of them together. Okay, so the real life problem it could actually solve is that it can make the world a colorful place. Like when you look at ladies and you admire them and you like what you see. Yeah, I actually make what I'm wearing. So
hijab me. All right, please pass it on to this group.
Good evening, everyone.
Yep.
My name is Udotai Nebasi. I'm representing Group 2. I mean, Group 3 rather. Sorry. Okay, the hobby that we've agreed on is.
I like that word. Please, can you celebrate this group?
Okay.
It was a teamwork. If you copy, it was a teamwork, and you understand. All right, so flow.
Okay, so the hobby that we've agreed on is cooking. And
cooking. Hi, this is my team. Okay, flow. Sorry.
So, okay, looking around there, though there are so many restaurants here in Ekiti and in Akwa Ibom and all over the world, and they have different ways of cooking, different ways of presenting their meals. And if you find it a different way to present it in a way that is different from theirs and is very excellent, you can be picked or maybe do something different that people can maybe turn to focus on your own business. It can maybe turn to business as well. Okay. And maybe have a new idea of maybe we can have
the maybe is too much. The maybe you guys were supposed to coerce and say this is one problem that will solve, but at least we have the idea. All right, please pass it on to the next person. All right.
My name is Basit, so I'm representing constituency 4. And our constituency
is a politician.
We actually had 2 business models we've developed right here, right now. But the one I'm going to talk about is we noticed that we love to gist. And we've been gisting for free all the while. And people are laughing and enjoying themselves and having fun. So we decided because you spoke to us today, we want to smile home. So we want to start a business that has to do with creating a platform where people can come as they are gisting, they are eating, they are drinking, and we have a way of charging them for it.
All right. Please, can you celebrate all the groups? All right, can you celebrate all the groups? Go back in. The point is, the hobby must solve a real life problem. It must solve a real life problem. Now, I love this man because he makes understanding business simple. He said, if you find something broken that you can fix for a lot of people, you found a gold mine. That's Paul Graham. And for the context of this event, I decided to tweak it a little bit to, if you find something broken that your hobby can fix for a lot of people, you found a gold mine. Do you understand now? So there's a problem, there's a pain, there's a frustration. If you can find the one that your hobby can fix, then you found a gold mine. Now, a few days ago, one of my friends posted this online, and I read it, and I said, I'm going to put this up as part of my slide. And one of the things he said was, he said, the greatest self-deception of young people is to think that someone will invest in them for nothing. He said, life doesn't work that way. Stop looking for favor and destiny helpers. Start looking for tough problems. Provide intelligent solutions for those problems. The same people who used to ignore your calls will start sending you messages. The principle of life is that people gravitate towards solutions, but run away from what? Problems. If you remain a problem, it's natural that they will run away from you because you too have been running away from your own problems. So basically, if we must actually build a business around our hobby, we need to understand that we need to solve real life problems. And the human needs and problems are revolved around this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, there are basic needs, there's like physiological needs, and then there's self-fulfillment needs. So whichever one you find yourself able to solve a problem around, you can actually build a business around it. So the key word there is what? Value creation. Value creation. And every single person, both the panelists and the first, second, third, fourth speaker that shared from this platform have actually said something about value creation. Listen, if you want to build a business, it has to be value driven. It has to be value driven. One of the reasons why it has to be value driven is that your brother and your neighbor has ceased to be your competitor. The person you are competing with is a global person in China, in US, in somewhere, you know, and all that. Recently, I got a job offer. There's something we do, and the person that wants the job done does not care which country you are based, and the person that can deliver the job will be paid for $4,000 a month. And I looked at a whole lot of things, and come and see Nigerians, come and see Australians, people that were applying, bidding for that job. What it simply means is that if somebody had a passion for, you know, building websites, developing digital marketing tools and all that, the person stays in Nigeria, inside his room, doesn't go out Monday to Friday, and is making close to 2.5 million naira just doing something he loves doing. And if he's not coming out, you know, before now they will say he's lazy. But right now, you cannot say that again, no, because you don't know whether that person can even buy the house that he rented. All right? So the point is, you must, first of all, I said you must what? You must be value driven. Always think of how you can create value from that thing for the other person, for others. And then you must know who will need what your hobby can offer. You must know who will need what your hobby can offer. You must know who will need what your hobby can offer. All right? So look at this picture. The woman there is, I used to ask the question, how come the people that do bole, don't look at me like that, I like eating bole. So if I'm using it as my example, if you give me, I will not reject. Now, I used to ask myself, why do the people that do bole not do it inside their compound? They used to bring it to the roadside. Why? The people that they are doing it for passes by the road. Passes by the road. If you go to Port Harcourt, the way they put it, the way they do it is such that even if you said I'm fasting, and if you stopped by that area to pick something, driving past is helpful. stopping by to pick something is there is the scent that they send to the atmosphere. The tongues that, the smoke sends out and say, won't you come? Won't you come? So you must know who your hobby is meant to solve their problem. Okay, my time is up. Okay, let me close. Okay, my time is up. So can we close? I think I'll stop here. I'm subject to time. So, okay. All right. So basically, you must know how to find the people. You know who you are creating the value for, and then you also know how to find them and how to show them. How to find them is separate from how to show them that you have what they are looking for. This is where a lot of people miss it. I know somebody that sews amazingly well in Uyo. Now, the person is not very good at how to find the people that need what he does. Then there is this other person that goes to the UK twice a year. This person has been able to find the people that need this cloth that this other guy shows. And he knows how to show them. He wears them to a particular Akwa Ibom State Association program, and they are like, I need 3, I need 5. So when he returns, he has lots of orders. So he pays this other person that shows what he wants paid. But if you know what he goes home with, because he has mastered the art of finding the people who need what I have, and mastered the art of showing the people what he can do. So this is one of the aspects that shows that you have turned it into a business. If you cannot find the people who need what you have, your hobby can deliver. And if you don't master the art of presenting that thing to them, you will not be able to build a thriving business around it. All right? So basically what I'm trying to say is that the oxygen of a business is marketing. If you are not marketing, that business is just marking time to die. You must actually market. And when we talk about marketing, we are saying attention. Getting the right attention to your business, to the thing that you are offering, to the value you have created. Because we used to say that if you do a good trap, people will trace and come to the place. It doesn't work that way these days. The guys that sell nonsense, capital nonsense, that have mastered the arts of marketing, they have mastered the art. They know the colors. They know the combination of words. They know how to say Buhari is out, and you want to go and read, and it had nothing to do with Buhari is out. They got your attention, and then they sell you what they wanted to sell you. All right? The people that have mastered this part of the business are the people that swim in cash flow. So when I started, I just wanted to do value. But I realized that a lot of people will come to me and say, please, we have this training. Can you come? And then they will broker and do some things and all that. And I'm like, wow. So I began to understand marketing. Some of you use Netflix. Netflix, as at 2019, put $2.65 billion US into getting attention. Procter & Gamble, 185 years old, put $9.9 billion in 2019. So what they are simply telling me is that from their level, they are doing. So I should come to my level and also do according to my level, but make sure you are able to drive attention to that thing. Make sure you are able to drive attention to that thing. You see all those pictures that you post on Facebook that has nothing to do with that hobby you want to turn to a business. All those things you do like this, you do like this. It has nothing to do with whether beauty and all that. It's not going to help you. One of the jobs I got that I look back and I'm like, wow, came from just immediately I finished a training like this. I posted it on Facebook and was like, it was an amazing time. And people that attended the event came and they were commenting on the, wow, sir, thank you, sir, and all the. Meanwhile, I did not know that there was a company in Lagos that wanted to do a training in Akwa Ibom State. But the problem was that they looked at their cost-effective analysis and said, flying 2-3 people down and getting somebody here, which one is cost-effective? The problem now is, how do we get somebody that will deliver our standard? This young man has never heard me speak. We were in the same school. But every now and then, as I finish trainings like this, I put them on social media, on my Facebook. It was an awesome time. So he perceived. That means I got his attention. So he told the company there is only one guy that I know in Akwa Ibom State that will deliver. Am I the only person that can deliver? No. But I'm the only person that entered his eye. So enter person eye. So enter the eye. Enter the eye. So at the end of the day, they now said, what is Facebook handle? And when they came there, the training was just fresh. And they saw the comments and all that, and they said, he's our guy. And that's how I sat down in the city of Eket, and decisions were made in Lagos to my favor. So attention. Get attention to that product or service that your hobby is delivering. I talked about Proto and Gambo, and then you're all familiar with, there's nobody here that has not drank Coke. Whether you are doing digesting, you are drunk before and the Coke is still inside and all that. So if Coca-Cola is known globally, how come they still vote such billions into getting attention and getting the remembrance of their... How come? Shouldn't they say we have arrived? So we should stop telling people about Coke. Who doesn't know Coke? They should do that. Who doesn't know Coke? But they are still every day. They even say Coke with, they put your name, Amanda, fun, and you are buying and put in the fridge. They wanted you to drink it. You are not drinking. You are using it as a souvenir in your fridge. Go and drink it. Right? So they want to get your attention. So in that product or service that your hobby has created, you must consistently put it in the people's eyes until you get the right attention. There's something that we say in marketing that it takes like 4 to 6, 7 exposures for somebody to actually want to do transactions with you, especially if they don't know you before. So all those status, you should stop it from today. Stop it. Go back and keep posting that thing. Keep putting that thing there. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. And when you keep showing up, you will get aware. People will be aware of what you're doing. People will be interested. People will begin to make decisions. And then people will take actions to your favor. I was not in the management, in the decision making of this event. Right? I was somewhere having my nice time. And people decided to sit down and meet. And they say, who should we bring? Why did they call me? I got somebody's attention, 1 or 2. Do you understand me? So for that hobby, whether it's singing, dancing, now that dancing is raining, everybody is a dancer. I don't know how to dance. I don't want to learn. It's not part of me. My wife can dance. He will dance for the 2. All right? So get attention. And look at it. How many of you eat snail? Everybody, beautiful. How many of you make money from snail? So this lady puts snail on Instagram, Facebook, and the way she talks about snail, believe you me, I know she likes eating it. Like, you know, as somebody would talk about how he drips, he moves to the nerves. I just know that this person, you know, is snail when you see the person and all that. But you see, it moved from just him, or moved from just her, you know, eating it, pleasure, to customer satisfaction. Now, there's something I want to show you. Look at that figure there. So she says there is 6,000 naira on, there is 4,000 naira on, there is 7,000 naira on. She gives it different names that look sweet. Snail is snail. Do you understand? But she gives it different names. Why? She wants to collect the money. So there is 4,000, there is 6,000, there is 7,500, there is 18,000. He calls it jumbo sales. Jumbo. Please, ma, you know, please, which one is jumbo? You know. Now, there is something about people. There are people that will not want the one of 4,000 because they think it's not their. They look at that 7,500. They say, no, now that 18,000 naira on. And some of them, they don't have the money, but they must eat 18,000 naira. So your hobby now is now. So you must learn how to collect the money. All those things that you do for family and friends every day. I begin to, you know, I collected my brother that 1,000. So collect the money. So after you got attention, collect the money. And when you collect the money, do what? Keep records. You can only scale a business that you have records. You can only sell a business that you have records. When you hear that Facebook bought WhatsApp, what is it that they cannot sit down in their own and create in a day? They could create that app in a day. So what would they buy? They had a record, a list of people that are using WhatsApp. So they were buying into the records. So every time you say, well, it's my own business, it's not anybody's business. What you are saying is that I will never sell the business and I will never scale the business. So start with the basics. How much came in? How much went out? And then you graduate to getting somebody as a friend to actually help you put the books together. And gradually, you will look back and wake up one day and say, it was worth it. I close with this. I have a Facebook channel that talks about helping young people build businesses around their gift and their passion. So if you go there, what I did not say here, you will see it. And a lot of other things that I'll be dropping as we proceed. So you just type Unyime Udotai on YouTube, search, like, subscribe, and comment. What did I just do now? Okay, thank you.